All right, what we're doing today is we're going to compare the Hoosier D30A 5.5 inches wide with the Burris TX33, also 5.5 inches wide.
Not easy enough.
So let's look at the two. Let's look at the tread patterns here. The tread patterns are very similar, but they're actually different. If you look here, these blocks are more square. On the Burris, they're a little bit more, they're longer, they're elongated here. On the Burris, from one tread end to the other, it is, what is that? Pretty much exactly 6 inches. So they call these 5.5 tires, but you know, really the tread starts and ends from one side to the other at 6 inches. That's the Burris. And then on the Hoosier, the tread starts right here and ends on the other side at, it's actually slightly wider at 6 3/8 inches. So 6 3/8 inches on the Hoosier. Let's go measure the heights of these tires now, the diameters. If you look here on the Hoosier, it's 11 5.5-6, so it should be 11, but I think that's during, you know, while inflated. And then on the Burris, it's 11 by 5.5-6 as well. So these both should be 11 in height. Let's go look at and compare to each other the heights. Right now, uninflated, the Burris seems slightly taller, and it's actually more used. I've used the Burris for about, you know, this particular tire right here I've used probably about 30 miles, 40 miles. Where the Hoosier is brand new, I just opened it, and yeah, the Burris is slightly taller right now. Probably about an eighth of an inch taller, maybe less. Yeah, about an eighth of an inch. If I measure the height here, I have the Burris at, it's about 10 and a half inches in height. And then if I measure the Hoosier, it is about a little bit less, so it's about 10 1/4. These are the comparable treadings from each company. They should be around the same durometer. So this is the TX33 from Burris, D38 from Hoosier. If you look at the Burris one, I'll try to push it around a little bit here, the treads. It doesn't move very much. Feels pretty good. I do have a softer Burris, and you can definitely move the tread around. It's too soft. Let's try the Hoosier. Ooh, the Hoosier's hard. It feels a lot harder. And the tread, yeah, it definitely doesn't move. I can tell you there's a noticeable difference in how hard it is. The Burris, or the Hoosier, is quite a bit harder than the Burris. Let's check the sidewall differences. So on the Burris, let's take a look here. So I can squeeze the sidewall here pretty good. Not bad. There's like a band here, that wire band. It's about that high. It's not that. It's pretty small. You go to the Hoosier. Oh, that sidewall is tough. Yeah, the sidewall's a lot harder on the Hoosier. It feels like the band goes higher. Ooh, I can't even bend it. Like, I guess I can. It's the furthest I can bend it. So it's a little bit higher, the band here on the side. Definitely the sidewall's a lot harder. This tire overall, this D30A, is a lot harder than the Burris TX33. So I normally ride my Burris around 23 psi, but since I'm new to the Hoosier, I'm gonna go ahead and pump it up to 18. Should make it good. Alright, so, you know, I have experience with a thinner tire already, so it's not too much of an adjustment for me. At 18 psi, the way, whoa, I feel like, so far I feel like this tire is rounder, a little bit rounder than the Burris. It's a little, let me ride it a little bit more. Oops, I forgot to take this part off here. I got the stickers that come with it, I forgot to pull it off. Probably should do that before you ride on it. You know, so far, I guess I kind of expected to ride for a little bit and be like, oh, the Burris is better or the Hoosier is better, but they're just different. I don't know, it just feels different. So we got the Burris, we've got the Hoosier. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick ride test here, and we're gonna go ahead and let Nick try out both. You know, he rides the, actually both of us ride the Burris. I've been riding the Hoosier for about 4 or 5 days now, and I'm gonna let Nick ride the Hoosier and see what he thinks. So if we look at the two tires, you can see the treading is slightly different and the width is slightly different. So I'm lining up the Hoosier and the Burris, and if you look at the treading here, you can see that the center of the Burris is wider than the center of the Hoosier. So this is the Burris and it's the Hoosier. You see the treads, they're a little bit wider, so it looks like you get about ½ an inch more in the center. So the Hoosier is definitely rounder, and it curves all the way, where the Burris is a little bit more flat in the center, and then towards the sides it starts to curve. Yeah, dude.
Huh. That was a good offer.
What's that?
Lumens reached out to me.
The lights on? Yeah.
Right? That's one of the criteria. Maybe he's throwing something out. How the fuck is it? Why Esquire?
Yeah. Yeah. Phew. You look pretty good on it, actually.
It carves super nice.
Yeah.
It might.
You look a lot more aggressive, actually, when you're on the Hoosier. I can see the difference when you're riding.
I think it's because you have to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to.
Oh, you can't go just go
No,
slow.
I mean, it's definitely better than the Vega. That's
Yeah. In what factor? Just like carved in?
obvious. It's more nimble,
Nimble,
obviously. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the 6.5 Hoosier.
Mm-hmm.
But this one rides pretty damn good too. It's definitely nimble. I'd say my only complaint, and I don't know if it's just a difference between the one wheels, is it seems like my nose ride's a little bit lower on this one. So I don't know if that's just because, what's the full diameter on this one?
It's 11.11. I think it might be 11. Yeah, it's on there.
So it's the same, right?
It's right there. Yeah, it's 11.
Okay, so
the Vega's 11.5.
See, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's that extra ½ inch. The nose ride's a touch lower. So I'm kind of digging the nose in just a little bit more, but overall it definitely rides better.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it better than the 6.5 though, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's definitely more like skate style. It's less surfy. But it's good. It's good. It's definitely better than the Vega. I mean, we can all agree on that.
Yeah. I think. Woo.
Yeah, threes are nice on this too. This tire with delirium this would be my choice for riding trails.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like it. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Approved.
Yeah, when Nick, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to see Nick, so we'll have the Burris side by side.
Nick's riding the 6.
No, he's riding the 5.5 by Burris. But when I compared the tires, if I put them like on top of each other, this is a lot rounder. Like the Burris, the center is actually wider. It's like that.
Yeah,
and then it curves.
It still feels like the Burris still feels like it rolls really nice.
It does. It does. Honestly, personally, I like the Burris better, but I just want to see other people's opinions.
Do you have the 6 Hoosier slick?
No, I tried it, but no, I don't have it. I'm getting it from what's the name? Michael Wilson. Then I'm installing it from. He told me I can ride it.
Ooh. Don't tell him, let's ride his board. That's way different than it is on the Plus, because I rode this tire on the V1 and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't as
Remember
responsive.
the skinny slicks?
Yeah. That one was scary. It's fun for going slow and doing spins and stuff, but
At speed, it just like it just would start wobbling.
Let me do a drop on this, see how it acts.
Woo.
The landings are a little sketchier.
See about.
Yeah, it's definitely dirt PSI, it's not street people.
You want me to pump it up a little bit?
No, it's good. I can already tell it's better than Vega on street. It's more stable for sure. You don't get the shudder.
No.
That you get with the Vega on your feet.
It's good at speed. It really is.
Yeah. So you know when you ride the Vega and you hit like a bump or you start going fast or try to turn or something, it does one of these on you. It shakes a little bit. This doesn't seem to do that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a good tire,
I
man.
want one.
We'll try the Burris next. See how you ride that.
I think the Burris is gonna be the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not trying to come in with preconceived notions, but after riding that Burris that one time, Burris is like a good hybrid between the two, because this one
really is. Yeah.
I mean, this one is almost too nimble for most people.
I agree.
So it depends on your style of riding too, right?
Yep, exactly. Cool. Yeah.
Like I think you're in bonk mode.
PSI is a little bit higher though. It's on 23 right now. Whoa. That hurts.
That's my worst nightmare right there.
Yeah, we gotta pay attention.
Same kind of sketchiness at slow speed.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yep.
So, is it a harder compound? It feels like, I mean, it's probably the extra 2.5 pounds, but it feels more pushy, like authoritative when I come into stuff. Here, let me turn down my tunes here. It's really fun. It's like roundier, if that makes sense. Like it feels more like a globe.
Yep.
So the turns are just a little bit more like topsy. But it's fun. I mean, you can flow with it for sure. And it feels maybe, to me, less confident because this feels more grippy on the Burris, but this one is a little bit more like on top of things.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe the 1.5 pound difference could make it so it feels more similar, but it's different. It's fun. It's definitely more maneuverable than the Vega.
Yeah.
And I felt good slowing down. This one, on the Burris, it almost feels like the brakes are a little delayed.
Yeah.
Like it kind of like, ooh, whereas this one is still like Vega style. So, fun stuff. That's a trip how it can ride so differently.
Yeah. What I noticed is the Hoosier. This is actually the Hoosier at about 23 psi right now.
Okay.
And for it to feel similar to what you're riding on your 22.5 Burris,
Yeah.
it feels like the Hoosier one is at 18 psi.
Wow.
And I don't know the reason. I mean, for that. But you can watch the video. But I think it's maybe because the sidewall is softer. I'm not sure. But the Burris is definitely, even though they're rated about the same compound, the Hoosier is definitely harder. It's a harder tire.
It feels harder for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
This feels more like a snow tire. Oh, look.
Whoa! What we got here? Look who just showed up. Came out of nowhere.
How are you?
Actually, I popped in the market, and right when I went in the market, I seen you guys ride by.
That's hilarious. And so I knew I was good. I was like, yeah, that's solid time. Like a POW day, virgin POW. Oh, what do you got over there, guy? Bump City. Bump it up. Wow, this feels really good.
Yeah. I think you need to up the PSI on yours.
It's pretty fun. Uh-oh.